All right, Khloé Kardashian. She's letting the world know she's determined to find her forever partner in her 40s. She said on the season premiere of The Kardashians that it just can't be over for her yet.
Aww.
So the big question we have is, can you put a deadline on finding love?
Well, you can if you want to, but then I think you run the risk of having to settle. I just thought of an analogy, your roof needs being repaired, but you let it go on and on. And then one day, all of a sudden, you find out you need a new roof tomorrow and you don't have time to shop around because you
just get the easiest, quickest roof.
And then you get fleeced because you're spending so much money. So that's what happens kind of when you put a deadline. Like the deadline is now, well, I guess let's get married.
Right.
What's your name again? Kind of thing.
I do wonder, listen, I feel for people who are dating today. We hear a lot. I mean, Andrea talks about it a lot.
Yeah.
We've got single friends or even people who are divorced and dating again. It is rough in those streets. And I just can't even imagine, because when I was dating, which was a very long time ago, I would trip and fall in love every other day. And I don't know if it was just me. I don't know if it was a sign of the times.
Did you have a deadline in your mind of like, okay, by the time I'm 30, I want to be married? Because I feel like we do get raised as women a lot of times with these arbitrary, maybe men too.
And there's a biological aspect too. That is a real thing.
Which is not, I don't know, but I don't think it's Khloé's thing, because she already has 2 kids with Canadian basketball star Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
So I don't have a deadline, but I do think sometimes if I was dating today and it sounds like it's rough, would I approach it like I would approach trying to achieve any goal? Make like a business plan. And I'm gonna go on this many dates every week. Here's my list of my must-haves and nice-to-haves. And like, would you start to just approach it so that you have accountability for trying to find love? This sounds so unsexy.
It feels so
It is very unsexy.
But it also feels like you have a checklist and almost that you're looking for perfection, but newsflash, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, but
Do
I
you know what
think
You're setting
maybe
yourself up
because
for
she's
failure.
had such terrible relationships. And the thing is that the common denominator is her. And I'm not saying that to blame her at all.
Yeah.
But sometimes some people's pickers are off. We all have friends like this where it's like you keep on. I remember in a segment I did on the show, I talked about people's wound mate. That often you get together with somebody who reminds you of childhood wounds. It might be a first partner, it might be an early caregiver, and people replicate those. So it sounds like Khloé's actually doing the work now to kind of shed some of those habits. And so I do think the idea of like, I'm giving myself a year to go on a couple dates and do things differently.
Find a nice
it's a good
boy.
attitude.
Yeah.
Find a nice boy, Khloé.
And she's putting it out there, right? So I really believe in energy. It's like when you think you want a red car, then you see red cars everywhere, right?
Right.
So it's like that. She's putting it out there, and I feel like it worked for me with my husband. Because I was with me, it's also with our culture, it's also the, you're 25, you're not married, what is going on?
Yeah.
So, it was like, get it going. So I knew before 30 I wanted to get married, and I made a list of things I wanted in a partner.
Yeah.
And I met my husband, and it was the same guy that my mom wanted to introduce me to 5 years earlier. And he was on a board with my mom's best friend, but I wouldn't have been ready then. Like, he wouldn't have been my type then.
Right.
But he was my type when I was ready.
Yeah.
I knew more about what I wanted, and
and voila.
And
Oh my
voila.
God, put that out in the world.
Listen to your mama.
Listen to your mama.
Okay. Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.